Man, entry-level photographers really just never work for free. But they should. Man, there's so much that you can learn, there's so much that you can grow by shooting for free. And in this video, I'm gonna show you guys why. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, my name is Sergio and I'm a commercial photographer here in Victoria, BC, and I've been shooting full-time for a little over 10 years now, and it's been a hell of a ride. I love this job. But that doesn't mean that it's always, fat wads of cash and that every shoot is paying me more than the last shoot. And even to this day, I'm still shooting stuff for free. I'm still doing things that are out of the benefit of my career and not necessarily just my wallet. There are a few different things that I like to think about when I'm considering a job, and that's whether or not it will benefit my career, if it's fun to do, or if it's just a cash grab. If it hits two of those three things, I'll probably end up doing it. If it hits all three, then cool, but usually just 2 out of 3 is probably good enough. This job is a marathon. It's something that is not, I'm not trying to make this most amount of money this month and then hopefully make more the next month. I'm trying to make enough money to make it to next year and enough money to make it to the next decade. And that's kind of how I'm looking at this. It doesn't matter that every Thursday I'm not getting paid the same amount. That's not why I got into this career. I want the hope and the possibility of one day landing the biggest shoot of my career and then that somehow being the smallest shoot of my career. And if you feel somewhat similar, then yeah, okay, great, you're in the right career path. But until then, you have to, and even once you get there, but you have to work for free. You have to put yourself in everybody's circles until they are like, oh yeah, he's the guy who shoots. He's the person who shoots. He's the person who takes all of the incredible pictures of bubbles on top of glassware that's hand blown and always colorful for some reason. I don't know. Whatever it is that you do, you have to be that person. The best way to kind of solidify yourself and be better at creating images is to do them over and over and over again. And sometimes the access to creating images is kind of tough. We don't always have a studio. We don't always have a spot to shoot. We don't always have things to shoot. And sometimes you can collaborate with other businesses or with other people and have, a food stylist on hand, or have, work with a chef and have images that can look exactly the way you want them to in a magazine or in a cookbook or something like that. But because you can bring something to the table, the chef can bring something else to the table, and together you guys create something that you really enjoy. You can use these experiences of less stress and less types of deadlines or less kind of stress really of having to nail a certain shot or a certain exposure and having to do it a certain way and having to hit a certain metric. Well, without all of that, by shooting just for free or with friends or for, hey, let's try to do something like this, you take risks, you end up trying new things, and that's how you get better. That's how you really kind of jump leaps and bounds around the people around you, because you're kind of not just worrying about trying to please your clients or trying to please a certain brief that you were given. You are now in this middle of, oh, I had an idea, how can I make it come to life? Oh, it would be a lot easier with a friend. If that friend can bring something to the table that I can't and they can benefit from these images, then awesome, let's do it together. It won't cost me anything. Boom. That way I think you're much more likely to fall in love with like a part of photography that you might not have even been expecting, because maybe you don't get a chance to shoot drinks all that often with your job. But if you want to shoot drinks and you hire a bartender or you ask a bartender friend and you're like, hey, do you want to showcase your drink ability, your mixology to, maybe people around you or to getting a new job or showcase, what it is that you can do. I want to shoot fancy cocktails. How can we do this together and make nice garnishes and make a nice looking type of image? And it might cost you a whole lot less than just doing it yourself and trying to understand how to carve ice and then you cut yourself and then whatever it is, just hire the help or get the help that you might need. And that's one of the great things of working for free, so to speak, is that you could just build this portfolio. You could build your Rolodex of experience because you're providing services to the people around you and they're kind of just doing it for the sake of these images. They don't, there's no stress of like, oh, if we don't get this, then it's a wasted $1,000, or it's like just two people's time, just be a good person to work with, and most people are going to be thrilled to get to work with you. if you're trying to reach out to the CEO of a certain company, or like, you know, the head marketing agent of a certain agency, and you're like, hey, let's do some stuff together, they're going to not answer your email. But you have friends in your circles that are more than willing to help you out. If there's one of your friends who's a really good baker, there's someone who gardens some really cool stuff, whatever it is, just reach out to those people and see if they can collaborate and help you take better images and showcase your work in a different light. Because the story is so much more important than the technical of our stuff, right? It could be like a super well technically exposed image or whatever it is. It could be a super fancy shot, but let's say you're taking pictures of a burger that looks not appetizing, then nobody cares, because it's not about how well you lit the shot, it's about how appetizing the burger looks. So if working with the people that, you know, can help you make that burger look better, and somehow if you can try to make that free, then you'll be better off as a photographer. You'll have more to show in your portfolio, and you might be able to attract more high-paying clients because you understand this attention to detail. You understand that, hey, I need to have my images look this way because that's what's actually going to sell to people who want their images to look like that. An extra thing that you can do in working for free is to just work with your friends. You shouldn't be charging your friends. They should be people that you're thrilled to work with and thrilled to help out. But your friends have friends, and they have acquaintances in slightly separate circles that don't know you and don't know what you can offer. Those people might end up booking with you because they get like this instant stamp of approval from working with your friend and being like, oh, you did so-and-so's photos, I'd love to get something similar. And by doing that, you know, they don't know how much you and your friend, or how much your friend paid you or whatever it was. Like, they don't know how much you made. So you can kind of go with making something reasonable and being like, oh, sure, yeah, we can redo that again. It'll be $300, $500, $1,000, $3,000, whatever it is. But you can be like, hey, this is the services I offer, and you can kind of help out the friends that might need them, and their friends might end up being like, whoa, who did that? You could be that. You could be that person. As an extra little tidbit, I think what's really important is that even if you're working for free, you should kind of always make a contract that's outlining the different stipulations like licensing and usage. Because working for free has, you know, a lot of, it's pretty loose. And one of the ways that you can kind of tighten it down a little bit is just creating this boundary on what you're willing to give out for free. Now, that can be your first 10 images are free and then they're $50 each, or it can be your first year of licensing is free and then after that it's $250 a year, whatever it is. You want to be able to create these little, you know, bumpers so that you kind of protects yourself from giving out too much. Oftentimes, you know, if you're giving stuff for free, people will kind of cheapen or not understand the value of what it is that you're providing. So if you're willing to do something for free and that person agrees with you on whatever it is that you guys want to do, come the day of or the day after or whatever, you'd be like, oh, can you also just shoot this? Or can you also give me those pictures? Or can you maybe just give me the raws? Or can you just do blah, 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 blah? And by creating this like stipulation, these boundaries, these guidelines, it just protects you from, you know, just giving away too much in the long run. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I know this one's a little bit shorter than usual, but appreciate you guys watching anyway. And I'll see you guys in a couple days. Later.